Happy Wednesday, third grade. Today we are reading Arthur Writes a Story. I know you all know who Arthur is. Today he's going to write a story. This story is by Mark Brown. Arthur's teacher, Mr. Ratburn, explained the homework. What should the story be about? Asked Arthur. Anything, Mr. Ratburn said. Writes about something that's important to you. Remember that Arthur is writing about something important to you, because guess what, friends? You'll be writing about something that's important to you that happened over the summer. Oh, I wanted to point out, look at this, write a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Number 2, use details. And number 3, be creative. Should we use those 3 components in our stories? Absolutely. Arthur started his story the minute he got home. He knew exactly what he wanted to write about. Look, there's his writing. How I got my puppy Pal. There's Pal right there. I always wanted a dog, but first I had to prove I was responsible. So I started Arthur's pet business. My mom made me keep all the animals in the basement. It was a lot of work, but it was fun until I thought I lost Perky. But then I found her, and she had 3 puppies, and I got to keep one of them. That's how I got my dog Pal. The end. Well, I like that story. Arthur read his story to DW. That's a boring story, DW said. Does it have to be real life? Because your life is so dull. I don't want to write a boring story, said Arthur. If it were me, DW suggested, I'd make the story about getting an elephant. The next day, Arthur read his new story to Buster. Did you like the part about the elephant puppies? He asked. It's okay, I guess, said Buster. I'm writing a cool story about outer space. Maybe my story should take place on the moon, thought Arthur. Oh, look at that picture with all the elephants. On Wednesday, Arthur read his newest story to the brain. Scientifically speaking, elephants would weigh less on the moon, but wouldn't float that high, said the brain. So you don't like it? Asked Arthur. A good story should be well researched, said the brain, like mine, if I had a pet stegosaurus in the Jurassic period. Arthur hurried to the library. What are all those books for? Asked Francine. Research, said Arthur. I'm writing about my pet 5-toed mammal of the genus Loxodonta. Your what? Asked Francine. My elephant, Arthur explained. Oh, said Francine. I'm putting jokes in my story. All through dinner, Arthur worried about his story. Please pass the corn, asked Father. Corn, that's it, said Arthur. Purple corn and blue elephants on planet Schmelephant. Now that's funny. Arthur's acting weirder than usual, said DW. On Thursday, everyone at the Sugar Bowl was talking about their stories. Last year, a kid wrote a country western song for her story, said Prunella, and she got an A+. How do you know? Asked Arthur. That kid was me, explained Prunella. Mr. Ratburn said I should send it to a record company. It was that good. Wow, said Arthur. That night, Arthur's imagination went wild. He decided to turn his story into a song. He even made up a dance to go with it. Later, he tried it out on his family. Now this little boy can go home and enjoy his own personal striped elephant, and you will see how happy he will be here on planet Schmelephant. Well, said Arthur, what do you think? Uh-oh, look at their faces. Even the puppy. Mother and Father smiled. It's nice, said Grandma Thora, but a little confusing. Too bad you can't dance, said DW. What am I going to do? Said Arthur. My story is due tomorrow. That night, Arthur didn't sleep very well. The next day, Arthur worried until Mr. Ratburn finally called on him. When Arthur's song and dance was over, the classroom was so quiet, it was almost spooky. Binky raised his hand. Did that really happen? Sort of, said Arthur. It started as a story of how I got my dog. I'd like to hear that story, said Mr. Ratburn. The title was How I Got My Puppy Pal, said Arthur. Arthur told how proud he was of his pet business and how scared he was when Perky disappeared, and he told how happy he was to find her uncle under his bed and how surprised he was to see her 3 puppies. And the best part is, said Arthur, I got to keep one. Buster said, I like that story much better than your other one. Great story, said Binky. I think Arthur's story was the best, said Francine. Good work, said Mr. Ratburn. Of course, I expect you to write it all down by Monday. Then Mr. Ratburn gave Arthur a gold sticker. Oh, and one more thing, he said. Leave out the dancing. Ha 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 ha.